Today I fucked up by being deaf in a bathroom. This happened pre-pandemic, back when working in an office was the norm, but it occurred to me this morning you might get a laugh from it. I used to work in this 4-floor office building, home to about 1,000 people, with a large bathroom on the east and west ends of each floor. I mostly kept to myself in the office, aside from a couple friends. One day, I had to go pee. I walked to the bathroom. In my peripheral vision, I noticed a man walking behind me, so I casually held the door open for him, but without really looking at him. Not even really holding it, just an extra shove so it stays open longer. You all know the move. I walked up to one of the urinals. They were all open, I just grabbed a random one. The man behind me did not go to the urinals. He did not go to a stall. He did not go to a sink. He just stood behind me, weirdly close. I felt very uncomfortable, but didn't say anything. He continued to just stand there the entire time I was peeing. Uncomfortably close. I started to think, I am in trouble, and I mentally prepared myself for a confrontation or even a physical fight. I finished my business and I flushed the urinal. The water filled up the urinal, but it didn't go down. Whatever. I wheeled around to be like, "What the fuck is your problem, man?" And I saw the man had on a uniform. For a plumbing company. Behind him on the floor was his toolbox. He was there to fix the urinal that wasn't flushing. The one I had just taken a big piss into that was now not going down. He looked sad. It is now that you might think, that's that guy's own fault for not stopping you. He should have said something when he was standing behind you. Why didn't he say something? So I remind you what the title of this post is. In hindsight, I'm pretty sure he said something and I just didn't hear him. Too long did not read. I peed in a urinal a plumber was in the middle of fixing while standing in front of him, and I didn't hear his protestations because I am 80% deaf in both ears. He looked sad. That is the single best line in this whole post. This is what the sub is about. A genuine timeless TIFU. LPT. If you're the plumber in this scenario, just tap the person twice on the shoulder. Or turn the room lights on and off, if you can, ideally before they start peeing, etc. Completely avoidable. His life would have been much better if he would have put an out of order sign on that urinal. I mean, that's his fault for not having an out of order sign up. Today I fucked up by not looking inside my straw before I used it. I've never been so disgusted in my life until an hour ago I think. I don't even want to get another drink. I had just poured some ice into a cup, root beer next, and I reached in the drawer my mother keeps her reusable straws since I felt a bit quirky and wanted to use one. I didn't think to check inside it. She uses a straw cleaner to wash them so it didn't even cross my mind it might be dirty. I put the straw in my drink and leaned against the sink, not expecting a horrible, grotesque experience to come next. I attempted to drink out of the straw but none of the delicious root beer came through, but I had ice in it so I figured a small piece of ice had stopped the straw. I sucked it through the straw. Under the influence a piece of crunchy ice will hit my tongue. No, it wasn't. It wasn't a cold, crunchy little ice chip. Instead a horrible, thick, rubbery, fat little object fell into my mouth. When it sat on my tongue I tasted a strange, tangy-ish flavor. I was mortified, my life flashed before my eyes. I was facing the sink and immediately spit it out as I gagged. I expected it to be whatever old substance was dranken through the straw last. No, it was worse. What came from that straw, violated my mouth before being evicted, was a larva or worm of sorts. A little demon if you will. I was absolutely dumbfounded looking at this strange hell creature move in the sink. I was frozen in digest before my stomach finally registered what happened. I would say I had some revenge on the beast when I vomited the broccoli cheddar soup I had previously on it, but the horrific thing probably enjoyed it. I washed the puke and the bug away and down the sink, along with my dignity. I'm no longer the same person I was this morning, I've met hell firsthand. Too long did not read. I didn't check my straw before using it and got mouth assaulted by a larva, worm hiding in the straw. I always check straws at home, and run water through them even if they're supposed to be clean. Had something similar to this at a Checkers. I ordered a strawberry milkshake, drank all of it after my meal, and then for some reason I looked into the cup, entire bottom was filled with ants. I'm not talking just one but like 50 of those little bastards in the bottom of my milkshake. Surprisingly I didn't throw up but I never went back to that Checkers again. I didn't check a coffee filter. When I changed it the following morning I noticed a dead, completely beat up spider in the old grounds. I just threw it out and tried to forget that I drank spider coffee the previous morning. And this is why I use clear glass reusable straws. I literally had to keep myself from vomiting just reading that. I'm so sorry. Today I fucked up by letting a tow truck in. Obligatory. This happened last night post. So I work as a security guard at a plant in a small town. My job consists mostly of letting employees, visitors, semi-trucks, and work trucks through the gate. We are not allowed to let tow trucks in without being called by an employee first, though, as they are not allowed to repossess cars on the property. So anyway, it's late and dark. I'm getting a little tired, but I've got stuff to keep myself entertained between letting people in. I see what looks like one of our work trucks coming down the road and toward the gate. I instinctively flip the switch to open the gate for him. As he passes, I see that it's a tow truck. He gives me a little smile and a wave. I start panicking a bit because if this guy tows someone's car, I'm in big trouble. So I post a sign on my window saying I'd be back in 10 minutes and take the guard phone with me just in case. I run over to the parking lot the tow truck went to and I see him driving slowly through the lanes looking for a car to repo. I flag him down and ask him, "You're not here to repo anyone, are you?" He pauses for a minute. "Maybe. Get out," I tell him. He starts acting defensive and asking if it's against my handbook to let him in and demands to see it. I firmly tell him that this is private property and I will call the cops if he refuses to leave. As I'm saying this, I pull out my phone and start dialing 911. He finally drives off and leaves the facility. So I fed up, but I was just barely managed to fix it before something bad happened, like me getting fired. Too long did not read. Let a tow truck in a parking lot when I wasn't supposed to. Just barely caught it before he towed somebody. You know your job sucks when you have to prevent your coworkers' vehicles from getting repossessed. It's a good idea to let trucks stop at the gate to give the cameras a good view of license plates. As someone that runs a security company personally, I'd let you go with a, "Yeah, please pay attention" in future, since you took care of it and from comments called it in. Been through same thing in past. Those shifts do get really dull and sometimes these things happen. How bad is the collective credit of the employees there? Nice work and quick thinking. Today I fucked up by pranking my boss with a fake resignation letter. So, I, 25M, just had the biggest screw up of my life and I thought I'd share it with you all. A little background first. My boss is notorious for pranking us, and I've always wanted to get back at him. I thought of a brilliant idea to prank him with a fake resignation letter. I spent hours writing it and made sure it looked as official as possible. I even got a friend to forge the signature of the HR manager. Yesterday, I handed the letter to my boss with a straight face, acting all serious. He looked stunned and asked if it was a joke. I kept up the act and said it was real, and I was sorry for leaving. That's when things went south. My boss looked hurt and disappointed, and I realized I had gone too far. He started to make arrangements to replace me, and my colleagues were devastated. I had to confess to the prank and apologize, but the damage was done. My boss was furious and said he'd lost all trust in me. I feel terrible and regret the whole thing. Lesson learned. Don't mess with your boss, even if it's just a prank. I hope he forgives me, but I know it'll take a long time to regain his trust. Too long did not read. Pranked my boss with a fake resignation letter. He took it seriously, and I had to confess and apologize for my mistake. Don't mess with your boss. Edit. Hey guys, this post was written by ChatGPT. I asked ChatGPT to write a "Today I fucked up" post and I posted it on here as an April Fool's prank. Don't believe everything you read on the internet. April Fools. Not sure how pretending to resign was supposed to be a prank. I thought the foo was going to be that he accepted your resignation letter immediately and then said it was a relief because they were going to eliminate your position next month and weren't sure how to tell you, but you made it easy on them. Love all these April Foods TIFU. Makes me glad I don't prank people. Good thing you didn't get fired. And that's why you always put April Fools at the bottom of the letter so they instantly know it's just a prank. If there's one rule about April Fools, it's to never pull pranks on your boss. That's how people get their ass fired. You're extremely lucky that didn't happen to you.